Good afternoon, Liga MX fans. This is your host, Oscar Alcala. I like to call myself Oscar Moneyball. I have this match simulator and I'm creating content using my match simulator. I can't find content in English for one of my favorite tournaments or leagues in all of the world, Liga MX. I grew up watching this, and I love the Liga MX as much as there's a lot of hate and a lot of controversy. You know, it's entertaining to me, and so with my dive into analytics and where I want to be, I created this spreadsheet that helps me kind of I used it for betting, but no longer. I'm no longer betting. I'm kind of just doing this for fun and to create this content in English. And I want you guys to watch it and share it with your buddies, and hopefully you guys find some value out of it. Because again, I've looked everywhere. Liga MX content in English is hard to come across, especially content like this that shows you the data, the numbers, and all this stuff. Today we have two matches. We have but today we have two matches. Today's Wednesday. We have Pachuca playing against Atlas, Pumas playing against Necaxa, and I'm going to be using, like I mentioned earlier, my match simulator to give you guys all of the projections, the win probabilities, the score line, what I think is going to be happening with these games, and some background information so you know that these numbers and this match simulator is fugazi or fake, or whatever you guys want to call it. Um, this Excel sheet basically has data collected from the Apertura last season, and we're carrying it over into this season, Clausura. What the data that I've been collecting has been home form, away form, defensive strength, offensive strength at home, offensive and defensive strength away, and using an algorithm to kind of predict the future of whether a team's away or home playing against team B who's away. They have different forms whether they're playing at home or away. Some teams feel more comfortable playing at home with their fans being there. Some teams feel a little bit more pressure playing at home. That pressure that their home fans give them is something that could be stressful for them, so they tend to perform better away. Or there's teams that just really suck away, or there's teams that are really bad at both, home or away, or they're really good at both. So we'll be using these forms to predict today's results. On to the first match. We have Pachuca at home versus Atlas. Now this green section up here, this top part, is basically letting us know how many points they've accumulated since the Apertura and coming into the Clausura. So this may be irrelevant to you, and how much expected points they actually deserve based off their performances. You can see here that Pachuca has accumulated 10 points at home since the beginning of last season, the Apertura, and coming into the Clausura. Their expected points is 9.7, so they're pretty much on par to how they're performing and what they're getting in return. Atlas, on the other hand, seem to be overperforming. Their expected points should be at 6.5. Meanwhile, they have 9 points that they've again accumulated since the Apertura. Again, sort of irrelevant, but it does tell you where their form is at and how lucky they've been getting. The win probability for today, we see that Pachuca has a 44% to win today's match based off both my models versus Atlas's 25%. Pachuca expected goals, projected goals, however you guys want to call it. In my simulator, I'm calling it projected goals. We see that Pachuca has 1.17 projected goals versus 0.80 for Atlas. Expected points deserved. Now this is another maybe irrelevant for most of you guys, but the way I like to explain this is there's 3 points in dispute in this match. How are these two teams going to compete for those 3 points, and how we're expected to see who deserves what out of this game? You can see here that Pachuca is expected to deserve 1.97 points out of the 3 possible. Meanwhile, Atlas is expected to deserve 0.74 points out of the 3 in contest today. Hopefully that gives you a clear explanation of what that is. Now, these are the bets for you guys that like to bet. I included this here. So over 0.5 goals for Pachuca is at 69%. Over 0.5 goals for Atlas is at 55%. Here you can see a dramatic change in percentage as we go to over 1.5 goals for Pachuca. They drop down to 33%. Meanwhile, Atlas drops down to 19% to go over 1.5 goals. Total team goals, what that means is between both teams, we can see an over 1.5 goals. The percentage for that is 58%. Both teams to score is at 38%. Total team over 2.5 goals is 31%. One more thing I'd like to show you guys is I call this my heat map of where I see this game going and the percentages of, different scenarios. The most likely scenario here with the highest probability shows us that the home team is going to be winning 1-0, 17%. We have a 16% that it could be a 0-0 match. That'd be shitty. That'd be fucking boring. Expected goals model, we see here that, again, the highest probability here on this heat map is 15% for a 1-0 game. Again, the second highest is a 0-0 game. Now, the next thing I'd like to show you guys is that historically, I like to use this too. Historically, these two teams, these are their previous scores, the last times that they played against each other. We see a 0-2, 4-1, 3-1, 2-1, 2-0, 0-1, 0-1, 0-1, 0-1. So you don't see a lot of goals in this match. These are two teams that tend to be defensively strong or not entertaining. And one thing that you can see, a trend that I kind of pick up from these scores that I just shared with you, is that they all go over 1 goal. It's always over 1 goal, except a couple years back where it was just 0-1, 0-1, 0-1, 0-1. So that trend could still be in this game. Now, again, for you guys that like to bet, I would maybe put it into a parlay over 1.5 goals between both teams. Another, coin toss would be double opportunity for Pachuca to win or draw and over 1.5 goals in the match. So if the score is 1-1 at the end of 90 minutes, you win. Pachuca could win 2-0, 2-1, whatever. You just hands off from there. We're seeing that Pachuca is expected to kind of be strong at home. They're solid. They have great form, which is what we see here. But Atlas do tend to sneak away and get a little bit more than what they actually deserve away. So, yeah, next match. Next match is Pumas versus Necaxa. We see here that Pumas at home has been able to accumulate 23 points out of the 20 that they're expected. They have really good form at home. Really good form. I'll come into this. I'll talk a little bit more about that later. Meanwhile, Necaxa has been overperforming, but not enough to compete with Pumas. With their away form, they have 10 points out of 5 that they should have deserved. Win probability between these two teams, we see that 71% is in favor of the home team for Pumas. Meanwhile, 8% for Necaxa to win this match. Projected goals for today, we see that Pumas has 1.96 projected goals versus Necaxa's 0.49 projected goals in this match. Pumas is really strong at home. They tend to score no matter the opponent. They are with their fans. They're a strong team at home, and historically, you can look back at several games. They don't how do I say this? They score in every home game, or they tend to score in almost every home game. A coin toss when I used to bet was that I would always put Pumas over 1.5. It always paid really well. So you sometimes hit, sometimes you don't. But here it's telling us that it's sort of favored, but still, we got more information to give you guys before you guys make that decision. How are these 3 points going to be distributed? We see here that Pumas is going to be taking 3.41 out of the 3 points in contests today that are going to be disputed. Meanwhile, Necaxa takes 0.36 out of the 3 points total. That may not make sense to you, but this is a clear representation that Pumas are gonna be way superior, like far more superior than Necaxa are in this game. I know that doesn't make sense, but we'll see how that game plays out. Again, this is just a match simulator. For those that like to bet, these are the percentages of over 0.5 goals. Pumas has 84% to score. As I said, they are very solid at scoring at home. Meanwhile, Necaxa's away form gives them a 38% to score over 0.5 goals this match. Over 1.5 goals for Pumas, 57%. Again, it's just a coin toss. It may happen, it may not happen. Necaxa over 1.5 goals in this match is at 9%. Now, anything could happen. It's a soccer game. It's a very dynamic sport. There's a lot of things that can go wrong or that can go in favor for whatever side you're on. But Necaxa did just come from playing on Saturday versus America, the Liga MX champions for the Apertura. They had a 0-0 draw. They were able to, get a point out of this match and compete against America. Necaxa are on a great start this season. Anything could happen. So here we see that the over 1.5 goals, total team goals between both teams, we have 69%. Both teams to score, 33%. Over 2.5 goals between both teams is at 43%. Heat map for this game gives us here the highest probability is a 1-0 for Pumas to win this match, following up with the 2-0, 2-1, 2-2, or sorry, 1-1, 2-1 are the next, or even 3-0 for Pumas. Based off their XG models, we see here that the 1-0 and 2-0 are the highest probability, again following up with the 3-0, 1-1, 2-1. So over 1.5 goals in this match would be a safe bet. Maybe use that with the over 1.5 total team goals in the Pachuca Atlas game, and you can cook yourself a really good parlay there. Maybe if you even want to go double chance for Pachuca over 1.5 goals in the match and combine that with double chance for Pumas, or double chance for Pumas and over 1.5 goals. You can just use these same combinations and find your own parlays. I don't know what the bet lines are, and I'm sorry that I don't, but like I said, I'm no longer betting, so I haven't checked what those lines are. One thing that I would like to show you guys is Necaxa's form. Did I pass it? Where is my team Necaxa? Oh, it's right there. Okay. So home away form, they have an XG where it's pretty good. They're over 1.45, 0.53 against America. XG away, 1.25. They scored 2 goals. So I wouldn't be surprised that Necaxa could score in this match. That could also, I'm sure that the lines in favor for Necaxa to score in this match aren't so favorable. So maybe throw that into a parlay. Again, it's all on you guys. Enjoy this content. I love, sports analytics, data analysis, and, I love the Liga MX, so if there's any way for me to combine my passions and create this content for you guys to indulge in and share with your buddies, finally, maybe you guys can be like me, like finally someone's making this type of content for us. Um, Here it is. It's not just for our fellow Mexican Americans, but those Americans that, or from any country that are interested in the Liga MX. This content is for you guys. Again, with your host, Oscar Moneyball. Cheers, guys, to some good cup of coffee, to some good games, and I don't think they're going to be that good today, but we'll see where they go. Cheers, guys. Have a good afternoon, and good luck betting, or just good luck with your day overall. Have a good one.